I'd like to share with you my Peggy Martin or Katrina rose. It's blooming over on my east side yard. It's not a very big space, but it is such a good spot for roses because it has sunshine in the morning, and at the heat of the Texas day, it gets shade. It is just filled with light and dark pink roses. It's starting to fade somewhat now, but I wanted to give you a picture of it, a video of it, so you could see it. It is such a beautiful rose. The story goes is that Miss Peggy Martin lived in New Orleans when Hurricane Katrina hit. She went away like everyone else because of the flooding, and when she came back a few weeks later, her rose was still alive. And a man came through who was a horticulturist, and he asked her, "Ma'am, how is it that that rose is still blooming?" She said, "It is growing well after 2 or 3 weeks of seawater." He propagated a piece and named it the Peggy Martin Katrina rose. It is a star in my side garden, and I wanted you to see it. Isn't it spectacular? Look at these beautiful baby pink blooms. It starts out the darker pink, and then it fades to the lighter pink. But isn't it just simply spectacular? It is drought tolerant, disease tolerant, and it's a repeat bloomer. So you will see these beautiful blooms all summer long. I'm so excited about this. I put it in an obelisk over here in my east side garden. I'm trying to get you closer so you could see one of the little buds. Look at the little buds there as they start to open. Aren't they just spectacular? Just beautiful. This rose will not disappoint. Just gorgeous. Now, it's supposed to grow upwards of 15 feet. This is my first full year having it. I planted it less than a year ago. Look at it. Now I am going to, and I have it over here, it's got some wire mesh at the bottom just to help with the rabbits, but so far this season they haven't touched it, so I can probably remove it, but I'm going to leave it for just a little while because it is just showing off right now and I don't want to move it. But anyway, we planted it in the heat of the Texas summer last year. We planted it in like August, and so this is the first year of blooms. Can you believe this? The first year. So we're so excited. We dug a hole that was twice the size of the root ball, and then we planted it in there in the hole, and we put plant tone fertilizer. It's an organic fertilizer. You can get it at Walmart. In the hole, covered it up, watered it well. My husband put the wire mesh around it to keep the bunnies from eating it while it started to grow. And at the time we planted it, I had this obelisk that you see in there, and I put it over the top of it, and we just let it grow up the middle. And this is what we got less than a year later. Again, just a few months. Look at this thing. It is magnificent. I can't imagine what it's going to look like at the end of the year, or in, I think most plants take around 3 years to reach full maturity. So imagine what this spectacular rose is going to look like in 2 more years. So we're so excited about it. I just wanted you to have a look at this. So if you're looking for a rose to just brighten up a spot and make it gorgeous with very little work, you only fertilize it in the early spring and maybe again in midsummer. Just a handful of granular fertilizer or 2 applications of liquid fertilizer. It is absolutely spectacular. It is drought tolerant, it is heat tolerant, it is disease resistant, and it requires no effort. Literally plant it and go. I do prune just because I want to control the size of it a little bit right now, until I find out what other application as far as support that I will provide it. I could probably keep it right here as long as I keep it pruned, but she is absolutely gorgeous and would like to ramble or climb, and I'm going to let her do that. So I might change from an obelisk to an arch to let her climb more. This is Texas Zone 8B. The pollinators love her. I see them out here all the time. One of the things you can do is the blooms start to fade like this one. You can trim it back, you can cut those off, and new ones will come out. So that is something that I've been working on. First time I've ever done that. And here's a spot right here I'm going to show you. Look at these new buds. I cut off the faded blooms in that area, and it's starting again. So I'm so excited. That's not required because that's a lot of work, because look how many blooms there are. But it does prolong the life of it. Again, it gets around 15 feet in length. Those long limbs are just beautiful, aren't they? Those little branches that come out. It's so pretty, and it's just filled with color. It's a beautiful anchor for any garden or landscape design. Just lovely. And it repeat blooms. Let me just give you another quick look before I let you go. But look at that. They are all around. All around. Look at that. Look at that. One of the things I do to help hold it to the obelisk is I use those little clips. See them? They're buried in there now. You can't even see them because there's so many blooms and it's gotten so bushy. I don't do anything to it. I don't use insecticides or fungicide or any of that. I just let it go. And I think it's well worth it. Just absolutely stunning. I want to thank you for joining me today. And if you get a chance, plant a Peggy Martin Katrina rose to make a spot in your garden just sparkle. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.